Hey guys, welcome to another indie book review. My name is Hala. If you didn't already know or you're new to this channel, welcome. I just started doing book reviews this year as I'm trying to grow my own knowledge of other authors in the indie self-published book community, as well as kind of using them as reference points to learn while I'm in preparation for my novel release, hopefully in January. Knock on wood. Knock on fake wood, but it's this video is not about me, so that's all you guys really need to know. I usually post videos, I call them novelogues, specifically talking about my novel process and everything that's going on. But today we're going to talk about a novella by Ben Reeves called The Bewilderness. So I kind of switched my angle today so I can read the description on my computer since I'm using my phone to record this video. So I'm gonna look over here and I'll just put the whole cover on the screen and then we'll do a voiceover. Cool, awesome, great. The Bewilderness is a realm of beings who influence our everyday lives. The muses who give us inspiration, the manglers who spread misinformation, and the changers who travel through time, editing the course of history. Eli is a changer, but he also has a family in modern London. When his job as a changer starts to damage his domestic life, Eli must decide what matters to him most. Follow Eli through strange circuses, dark London streets, and vast deserts of black sand as he tries to save his daughter. So that was the synopsis kind of description on Goodreads. It's pretty short. It does touch on a lot of the points in the story, but I think he probably could have written a bit more in that to essentially like grab your guys' attention. So I'm gonna do my best not to spoil anything major, but I will kind of bring up little plot points that I think would add on to the description to kind of give you guys a better idea of what the story is. We got my notes, and we are going to start with the cover. If you look at this cover closely, I know you probably can't see it on the screen. If you go look up the image though, you might be able to get a better look at it. It's pretty psychedelic. I mean, you can see that from far away, but there are like little hints of shadows that could mean something. So I'm not sure if there's actually hidden images in the picture. It was too hard for me to tell, and I'm kind of looking because I have it up on my computer again. Actually, I could just pull it up on my tablet. Smart. I just had this open because I was reviewing the book. I read this I think I read it in February, maybe like a week or so after its release. If it released in March, then it was March, but I think it was February. And I just read it like in one sitting, and it was awesome. And the fact that I almost reread this book, I skimmed it because my schedule, I got busy and I couldn't just reread the book. I was getting a few other things done. But I skimmed through it and I was still able to like remember most of the story. But I was willing to read it again. So that's already a good sign because I don't reread stuff unless it's years later and it's like a nostalgic kind of thing here. You guys have it on your screen here. I don't need to show you what I'm looking at, but it looks like, but I could also be picking things totally out and making it something. It looks like there might be a shape of an eye there, but that's all I can really see. But it's very psychedelic. Like, I do appreciate the color layout and everything, but I'm not a fan of the way that the title just shoots across like that. I'm not sure what this book is with this cover. I think the first time I actually saw it, because of, like I said, the psychedelic aspect of it, I was like, are we doing drugs? I'm not in for that. I would have loved an illustrated cover for this. Totally biased, I know. But there's such fantastic imagery that's strange and just visually appealing that if it was on the cover, it would be awesome. At least, make a poster or something, because there are things in here you need to see. For the cover, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think he could have done more with it. All right, moving on to the story and plot. So this is where I can kind of expand a little bit for what Goodreads said. So Eli, he's a changer, and part of his job is in sort of this bewilderness, this little alternate reality, for lack of a better word. I really don't know how to describe it because it's everything and it's not, and it's just awesome. But he, you know, his ways to change history sometimes are very, very big, like changing an event, and then other times it seems smaller where it's not really a spoiler because I think the first chapter you can read for free. You know, for his first job that we see him on, he's offering this little 5-year-old girl a choice between her new bike she got for her birthday and her cat. I'm not going to tell you what she chooses. Actually, I think you can already tell by my reaction. Okay, she chooses the bike, so the cat dies, and I'm just like, oh, that's not cool. You know, it's little choices like that, and he does it with other people, and you find out that the girl he is with, April, I'm sorry, not April. April is the daughter. Daisy. I got them out of order here. He's with her. They had a kid together before named April, and April died, and now she's pregnant again, and initially he doesn't want her to keep the baby because he knows that it's gonna die. So there's that inner conflict between him and Daisy, figuring out what to do with the kid, and he kind of comes to a decision that he wants to change that future for himself, but you can't just do that, so he has to go into the bewilderness and talk to this man called Diavolo. Not quite a magician, but definitely the guy pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes here. Eli works for him, and you know, he's like, you know, can I save my kid? You know, I want to save my kid. So that's where the whole tries to save his daughter part comes in. Diavolo is going to send him on a history-changing mission, essentially. Along with all that, you have various trips between the, you know, modern London and the bewilderness, which if you've seen, obviously, like Alice in Wonderland for sure, you can get some vibes of that, but Mirrormask, I don't know how well known that is, but I was getting very strong, very happy, like Mirrormask world vibes. So something very surreal, but like everything is working together. And it, like I said, it's such a visually rich scene every time he goes to the bewilderness. Specifically, like he crosses over through the Bridgelands, and like I think every night there's a parade going through the Bridgelands, and I feel like that parade scene would make a great illustrated cover for this book, especially with the dinosaur. Because I love me dinosaurs, but I think it's a good scene. I think it's a good scene. So slightly biased, but also I think that's a good choice for the cover. And I'm sorry I'm rambling, but it's, again, I'm trying not to spoil you guys and pick out the little things here and there. It's very well set up, and I think because it's a novella, you have very quick pacing, but it's not so quick that you don't know what's going on. The author has done a very, very good job of putting you in a scene, getting you into the character's head, which is all written from Eli's POV when you're in the bewilderness or when you're experiencing the lenses, which are mushrooms. So I guess the psychedelic part does kind of work. It's those kind of mushrooms. I've seen a lot of trippy scenes written before, and it'll get weird and out of control, and it's difficult to read, and I just end up skipping it. Whereas this, it's very, very nice. It's good flow. Sorry, I can't talk, but I know what I'm trying to say. It was just easy to read, and it all flowed very well. My only gripe is that because it's a novella, it stopped after page 150 something. I think it's 155 or so in the ebook. I was ready for a full-on novel of this, like, because he just started on his big mission, and you know that's probably going to be the second book, and I'm like, you got me. I mean, I don't want to like put pressure, but I need this next book now. And then also I'm gonna start connecting this into world building, because If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm not quite one for the contemporary world. However, I feel like the author's depictions of London, they weren't just, well, here's what London looks like and what London is. He definitely picked out, you know, you weren't being described London as he was going through it. Like, you knew where he was. It was set up. But you stayed in the author's head enough and you stayed on plot enough that the background of the contemporary modern world wasn't distracting. And then, of course, you were able to contrast that entirely with the Bewilderness, with the great imagery, with the exotic characters and strange tasks. I was very excited to read and get back to the Bewilderness. There's also a fun little thing in this. I don't know if this necessarily ties into story or world building or characters or what, but we as the reader are kind of in the story. We're a little cricket and his name is Akbar, and it's just a nice little thing because with, you know, the dynamic dimensional travel, I guess, of the Bewilderness and everything, it's not totally unfound that you know we're also there with Eli, experiencing and seeing things. I think it gives us a chance to see things in a different way without having your token character that doesn't know what's going on and you need to explain everything to them. That's nice, and it's also just like cute little snippets of dialogue, and it's very unique. I have not seen it done successfully before, but I definitely did appreciate this one. I enjoy being a cricket. I'll do it again. So now we're just gonna jump down to characters. I mentioned Eli, his girlfriend Daisy, their daughter April who passed. For your Londoners, those are your main people, right? And again, with this being a novella and super short, you don't have all that extra page room to give a full-on backstory or introduce necessarily a character from the start. It's executed very well through dialogue, through gestures, and through that inner voice. Like you have a pretty idea who these characters are. The conversations make sense. It feels very real, especially if you're an adult, not necessarily experiencing the same thing with having or losing a child or however, but very real and very set, which is another reason why you're able to look at the Bewilderness and be like, wow, this is different, I want more. You guys getting a hint of what I want? I want more Bewilderness. And then I mentioned Diablo, who's kind of running the strings. And then towards the end, he does get a partner on his new mission and has a little like subplot with a character named Indulgence, who I think is kind of there to sort of judge where Eli's intentions actually are, and it's kind of like, I don't know, like she was also a very complex character, and she wasn't there on the page a lot, so it was very interesting, very interesting. The last comment, as always, is on the writing and craft. I feel like this little novella was flawless. I'm not sure. I'm sure it went through an editor. I found no typos. It is written in UK English, so if you're American reading it, there are going to be a couple words that are different. So apartment is flat. What else is there that was different? You'll know it when you see it, and you'll know what it is. Like contextually, you'll know what it is. So it's not a big deal. And it's actually really nice to have something set outside of the US for me personally, because I seem to have read a lot of books set in like Colorado recently, or like New York. Overall, sorry, this is not the Bewilderness. I loved this book. I wish it was longer. The only thing that's keeping me going is knowing that he is working on the sequels, and I'm very, 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 very excited for them. It was just a very, like I said, short and sweet novella. It's different. It's nice and it's different. It's not so different and so strange that it becomes confusing. I feel like it maintains its entertainment and its like visually appealing levels. So definitely check out The Bewilderness by Ben Reeves if you just need a quick read and you want something that kind of take you out of this world without totally like diving into a epic fantasy series. I get it. This is the book you want to check out. It's nice, it's fresh. If you like Alice in Wonderland, if you've seen Mirrormask, I think you'll like this as well. And then we can all wait together for the next book. That's going to be all for this review. I am posting another review next week, so next Wednesday. It should go up Wednesday, Thursday. And that will be Untamed by Stephen Harris. It's definitely a lot different than any book that I've read so far, so stay tuned to check that one out. And if you have self-published a book yourself, or you know someone who has, or you just have found one that you like and you feel like you want others to know about, comment below or hit me a message on Instagram. You can also use any of my other social medias in the description below. Just let me know. And then the last two things I have to say are after next week's video, I will have a ranking video of these books. These are the Disney Twisted Tale series. It's the first 10 that were published. I know the 11th is out and the 12th is coming out soon. So I'm going to be ranking these 10 because I have some thoughts on those as well. And then I'm allowed to get the 11th book. And I may do a read along. Depends what you guys think and want to see. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. That's coming up the week after next. And then the last thing is, yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe. I hope you liked the video. I hope you would like to see more content. And again, any suggestions, comment below or message me, and I will talk to you guys later.